Hey guys, I got something new that reminds me of you because they're really cool. Ready? Where'd you go? Hello? Just kidding. These things are awesome. They hurt my neck though, which I think is the opposite of what they're supposed to do. All right guys, it's a new day. We're reading Reddit, nothing new, but you guys did ask if I could try a different Reddit thread out, so we're doing confessions today. I have read those in the past, but not many, so I thought it'd be fun to just read people's deepest, darkest confessions, and I can just air it out to hundreds of thousands of you, okay? Let a school bully get his ass kicked in my class today. That's awesome. I'm just kidding. Let's keep reading. I teach high school history, but I also teach elective film studies. What is that? I didn't get that option as a kid. That's crazy. Okay, cool. Basically, my class watches movies and writes reports. That's awesome. I sit in the back and play Candy Crush or watch YouTube. This sounds like the coolest job ever. Are you fucking kidding me? I have a freshman student named Drew. He's your typical freshman boy a-hole. 2 months ago, he got in trouble for beating up a 6th grader and broke the kid's arm. He seemed proud of it. Oh, fuck this kid, dude. Well, surprise, surprise. When second semester started last month, Drew and the older brother of the kid who he beat up are both in my class. The older brother, Jeremy, is a senior. There was no interaction between them, but they were aware of each other. Today, we are watching Jurassic Park. Dude, I want to go back to school to hang out in Tom's class. What the fuck? Today, we were watching Jurassic Park, and I think Drew said something to Jeremy about his brother. Jeremy said something back, and Drew said, "Make me." Jeremy has main character energy. Okay, he's gonna beat Drew down. I thought about telling them to sit down, but didn't. Jeremy started wailing on Drew for a good couple of minutes. I feel like he could get fired for this. I told him to knock it off. Drew kept his head down the whole class. His head looked like a pumpkin, and you could tell he was going to have a black eye and busted lip. I give Drew props because he didn't snitch. He did get sent to the nurse and sent home though. I hoped he learned his lesson. That's gotta be embarrassing to get your ass kicked in front of your friends like that. Okay, well, at least you didn't get in trouble, you know? But I'm trying to think. I'm a teacher. I'm playing Candy Crush in the back of my class. You're basically a bad teacher. You're Cameron Diaz, basically. And you're putting on a movie, Jurassic Park's on, and you just see an asshole getting his ass kicked by a vengeful main character brother. I would pretend I dropped a pen or something. I would do this. This would be me. This would be me. Oh, I dropped something. You know, karma's a bitch. I don't know what to tell you. Is it ethical? I don't really care. Is it though? No, not really. You know, letting kids beat each other up. Is it life? Yeah, life lesson they're learning here. Probably learning more from that fight than they are in this actual class. Comment says, I cannot thank you enough for your dedication to teaching the younger generation. I can't thank you enough for also allowing that. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm a teacher as well. Sometimes a bully needs to be taught a lesson. I would have done the same thing. It seems to be the overall consensus here, so I feel a little less bad for being like, fuck him. But that's great. Let's move on. I married a guy 12 years older than me, and I regret it deeply. She starts off, or he or whoever this is, starts off with, please be kind. I'm scared. That makes me more scared. Anyway, I, 27 female, met this man, 39 male, when I was 21 years old and he was 33 and freshly divorced. Everybody's at a legal age and everything, thank God. But this is a rough start already. Freshly divorced, 33 or 21. Oh, the control. I can feel it coming and closing in. I had always been the girl who liked older men, but I didn't consider how much this age gap would affect me down the road. Looking back, there were so many red flags, but I couldn't see past my rose-colored glasses. He was extremely charming and charismatic, did the devil's tango good, and took care of me in ways no other guy I'd been with. I was also in a deeply chaotic and unstable period in my life, and his maturity and groundness deeply appealed to me. I know people are going to shit on me, but I have to write all this out. He has 2 kids, 10 and 16, that he splits custody with his ex 50-50. I'm technically closer in age to his son than I am to him. I know some people will assume I got with him because because he had money or paid all my bills, but he was broke and only just this past month got a big boy job with a salary and benefits. As I write this, I feel so embarrassed to admit I let myself marry a man-child who, when I met him, only hung with people much younger than him, early 20s, and even had a weird, deeply questionable hookup with a 19-year-old girl where she claimed he got drunk and took advantage of her right before we met. He claimed it was consensual, but my thing is, why would a 30-plus-year-old man be drinking with a 19-year-old? And you would have been 19 at that point. Or no, you would have been, yeah, because he's 33. So yeah, you would have been 18 at that point. So he probably would have seen you or would have, this guy just has all sorts of red flags. I'm just going to keep reading it. I won't make a million comments like I usually do. It's like, I didn't fully understand how this all was until my frontal lobe finished developing when I was 25 and I'd matured myself, and suddenly my eyes opened and I realized he isn't who I thought he was. Crazy how that actually happens, by the way. He isn't a bad man or physically abusive, but he is deeply codependent, suffocates me, and needs to be babied 24/7. His mom still treats him like a baby, and I even feel like marrying him wasn't entirely my choice because his deeply religious family basically coerced us to marry so we weren't living in sin, exact quote, anymore. I feel like he's siphoning my life force and like I wasted my 20s. It's not so much grass is greener as it is air is breathable at this point. Oh, fuck. I feel so bad for her. ETA, we dated for the first 2 to 3 years and married when I was 24. We do not have bio kids. When I was 21, I thought he was more mature than he really was. He hid that very well for the first years we were together. He played games with me and only gets his shit together when I'm about to walk and free myself. He is emotionally manipulative, and that's what kept me this far. I'm not shitting on guys who date younger women. I'm shitting on my own personal situation, so please chill with the comments as though you personally are my significant other. Y'all are jumping to so many damn conclusions. I haven't read the comments yet, but I don't know. I don't immediately think, oh, what a stupid person for doing that. This is quite literally a tale as old as time. Like, this is more common than I think people think. Like, when you're 21, when I was 19, 20, 21, like, just, you don't know. You don't know the repercussions of not necessarily being with somebody older than you, significantly older than you. I'd say a decade at that point in your early 20s is significantly older. That's like they've lived a whole other life. Like from 20 to 30, at least for me, that is I'm a different person than back then. Like I still have the same like values and all that kind of stuff, but my goodness, the life that I've experienced in 10 years has just opened my eyes, and I can totally understand why she felt the way she does. You're vulnerable, you don't have a lot of life experience, that there's this older guy that seems, you just assume older people just have it more together when you're that age, for the most part. Like I just don't blame her for any of this, and I feel really, really bad for her. And it's hard to leave that, but I absolutely think she should leave. I think that she's realized, and I mean, she's, what was it, 27 right now? She's 27. She's still young, you know? Like I wasn't even, I think, when did I meet Caleb? That you could still have a whole life. There's still tons of life to live after this. And I don't think she wasted her 20s. She just had a longer lesson than most people. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I don't like that. I feel bad for her that people are just shitting on her when she's just confessing something. That makes me sad for her. But hopefully she realizes that she deserves better and that she absolutely just gotten taken advantage of. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I'll see what the comments say. Upside, no kids, and it clicked while you are still young. Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness you didn't, have kids with him. I'm sure you have a relationship with his current kids, and that I'm assuming will suck to walk away from. But like, I think it's a blessing in disguise that you're realizing it right now. You're still in your 20s. You still have, again, lots of life to live. Walk away. You aren't in love with him and you are bored and tired. Don't cheat. Don't waste more or both of your time. Just make a clean break and go start over. Yeah. Exactly. So much this, you are very young. Imagine being 37 or 47 and realizing this. Yeah, I think it's great. I think you've matured and had a lot of time to contemplate, and I really hope that you're able to take those steps. Another comment says, you look ready for your second adult life. I feel like that. I feel like I'm in my second adult life right now. Just because somebody's older does not mean they're more mature or have their life together or don't have their own issues. That is very clear. Okay. Oh, and then she posted on a different thread on our marriage/divorce. Yes! Saying amicable divorcees, how did you know it was time? What was the first straw? I'm 99% there at this point, but I love to hear from others who've made it across the finish line. We've tried counseling. I've come to him 3 separate times over the years in crisis mode because of how miserable I am at this marriage. He doesn't beat or cheat on me, but there are many other issues. I just get absolutely nauseated at the thought of spending the rest of my life with him. Just leave. And this was really shortly after the other post. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so hopefully there's no other posts, but seems like she's taking the steps in the right direction, so we can only hope. Let's read another one. Let me know what you guys think, but let's read another one. My fiance thinks I'm saving for our wedding. I'm actually saving to leave. Oh God, okay. I, male 29, have been with my fiance, female 28, for 6 years. Everyone thinks we're relationship goals. We've got the social media photos, the mutual friends, the inside jokes. We're supposed to get married next spring, but I'm slowly dying inside. Oh God. She's not abusive, she's not cruel, but I feel invisible in this relationship. I feel like a prop in the life she wants, not a partner. We talk, but don't really connect. We laugh, but it feels rehearsed. Spicy time is rare and robotic. I've brought these things up before, and she always says I'm just stressed or looking for problems. Run, Forrest, run! So a year ago, I opened a secret account. I started saving money on the side, just a little at first, then more. She thinks it's part of our joint wedding fund. It's not. It's my escape plan. I don't know when I'll do it. Maybe in a month. Maybe the night before the wedding. That's diabolical. Don't do that. Why are you even doing this? But I can't live with this lie forever. I just hope one day she forgives me for walking away, and I hope I forgive myself too. I mean, good for you for saving and all that stuff, I guess, but like, why would you say the night before the wedding? That's diabolical. That's just, why are you hurting both of you right now? Just leave. First comment says, do not wait till the night before your wedding. That would just be cruel. If you can afford to go now, then do it. There's no reason to wait. Agreed. Yes, of course, don't start putting deposits down on wedding shit. Yeah, that just seems so dumb. Sounds like you might be the cruel one. Planning a wedding and a future with someone while intending the entire time to drop them is cruel. Why would you waste either of your lives doing that? Yeah, you know what? I'm flipping the switch. It's like, that's fine that you feel like it's a robotic relationship and you're just going through the motions. That's fine. Why are you giving hope? That is cruel. That is so cruel. Just leave, or like let her know how you feel and be like, I don't know. This is just, you got time on your hands. That's just wild. Time you want to waste, and waste her time too. I feel like there's just something else going on and we're not hearing it, because that takes a certain kind of person to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna wait potentially till the night before my wedding. Like, I'm saving money, but I'm also gonna waste all this money on deposits and all that kind of stuff. It just it's not adding up. All right, next up, I paid a fortune teller to potentially lie to my now wife that we are perfectly compatible. Me. I'm white. Okay, now husband to an Asian girl. I hope this matters in some way, but I don't need that information right now, but all right. Both she and her family are superstitious, and they told her she has to go and see if we are astrologically matched based on Chinese astrology. Okay, at least it's just me, like, just in case you're wondering, I'm white, you know? I'm a person that is very rational and doesn't like to leave things to chance. We had already been dating for a year, and things were getting serious when the topic came up. By that time, I was already deeply emotionally invested in this relationship, and when I began to realize that for her, the astrological match was a potential deal breaker, I panicked, and I knew I could not just gamble on it working or not. No. Oh no. This is such a moral dilemma, because it's like it's fine on both sides. Whether if you can be superstitious, you can believe in all the astrological stuff, that's fine. You could be quote unquote rational and not believe in that stuff. But would you want to be with somebody, like, say if you actually went, you didn't pay this person, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but you didn't pay this person and they told them you're not compatible, and she said, okay, you're not the partner for me. Would you want to be with that person that bases the whole relationship off that? I told her we will go to Chinatown and see a fortune teller. I'm sure there are more sophisticated words for them, but honestly, I don't care much for them or their profession. Oh, we know, John. Okay, the day before, I secretly went to Chinatown, met a fortune teller with a good reputation, and paid her $400 to tell my wife that our astrology and whatnot is perfectly compatible. The next day, we went to said fortune teller, and she did as asked. Even printed out some report sheet, and that details why we are such a great match. I am happily married now. Our first child is on the way, and I have zero regrets. I don't know. I mean, Yeah, that I just posing the same question I asked before. It's like, I mean, I'm glad it worked out, I guess, and I hope that you guys are happy and all that. I hope she never finds out. She might from here. Hi. Is this not a big deal? I'm so curious what you guys think. For me, it's like, I don't know what she believes, you know? It's one thing for her family to... I guess he does say she and her family are superstitious, and they told her she has to go see if they get matched. But I hope that you guys have had your own conversation and she's like, you know, no matter what they say, I love you and I'm still willing to give it a chance. But if she was like, yeah, you know, if this is what our whole relationship is riding on, I don't know. I really don't know what the right answer is here. In my head, I couldn't go through with this. I couldn't go through with paying somebody, like, for real, if they were actually believing everything. It's one thing to just go for fun and be like, tell her that like I'm perfect, you know, but this is like, our whole relationship and our marriage, our potential marriage is riding on this shit. I don't know. I'm a bit speechless. I don't really know. I'm curious what the comments say. Now, this is a confession. Agree. Plot twist. She really was compatible to him in the first place and he wasted $400. That's also what I'm thinking. It's like, could you not? And I don't know. I don't know much about like this practice necessarily, like astrology and astrological, all that kind of stuff. But is that not something you can just look up and just kind of see? Maybe not. I don't know. Bro, you better not risk the chance of seeing your Reddit account if what you say about her is true. Yeah, it would break her heart. I agree. I hope she watches this channel a little bit. What if they actually are astrologically compatible and the fortune teller just printed out the same thing she would have printed out if he hadn't gave her $400? Yeah, hopefully he wasted his money. You know, hopefully that happened. Sometimes you have to make your own luck. Billy Zane, Titanic. Oh, brother. I don't really know. I'm so curious what you guys think. You got to put yourself in their shoes. If your family and you were super superstitious or maybe not superstitious, I don't know. I don't even think that's superstitious. You just cared a lot about astrological signs and you weren't compatible and you found out your significant other did that years ago before you got married. How would you feel? I feel like I'd be bummed. I'd be like, whoa, that sucks. But I feel like I would have been like, just on it. I would have been researching and I would have already known if they care about it that much. I don't know. Let's just read at least one more. I told my husband I had to travel for work. The truth is harder to explain. Oh, I love obscure titles. My husband and I have both worked from home for 5 years. That means 24/7 togetherness. No commutes, no office breaks, no solo grocery runs, just us. Always, all the time. Same, pretty much, honestly. I guess I get to be in my own little office, but I see him my husband all the time. Really do love him. This isn't about wanting to leave or cheat or blow up our marriage, but somewhere along the way, I started to feel like I was dissolving. Like there was no space that was just mine. No thoughts that were just mine. No silence that wasn't filled with someone else's voice. So I lied and told him my company was hosting a mandatory multi-day event at HQ that's a 3-hour drive from my house. I even packed work clothes and my laptop to sell it. In reality, I took PTO, booked a hotel 3 hours away, and left. I'm gonna save my thoughts. Right now, I'm lying in a hotel bed just doing nothing. There's something incredibly peaceful about knowing this little pocket of time is mine and mine alone. No one knows where I am. No one needs me. I'm not hiding anything scandalous. I know lying isn't great, but I also know if I'd told the truth, it would have hurt his feelings or started a weird argument. This way, I get what I need and no one gets hurt. And honestly, it's been wonderful. I think my work will probably host more mandatory events in the future. For me, I just don't like lying. I don't like the lying. I don't like the lying. God, if I found out that my husband was just like lying to me about a work trip that he never went on, God forbid multiple, I would be, and not because I wouldn't want him to be without me, but like you need to be able to talk about that. Like for me, I love my alone time. I cherish it. I like to just go on drives sometimes, like go to the grocery store and just like hang out just because I'm like, I just kind of want to do something alone. And Caleb knows that. And like vice versa. I mean, he's cool with like being in the presence of people all the time, more so than me. Sometimes I like to just go paint something, or I like to just go, you know, I can visit my family by myself or something like that. But that's something that's communicated. I would never feel like it's okay to just like lie. Oh my God, that would just like cause so many other questions that for him, like God forbid he ever finds out, he'd be like, am I supposed to believe that you actually just went and did this and you weren't like cheating or doing something else? And you know, everybody has different relationships, but you build that one lie, you have to keep lying. So you're okay with lying for the rest of your relationship. And it's not like a cute little white lie or something that's good for both of you. I just don't agree with this. She has a follow-up and it says, ETA, a lot of people are asking why I didn't just talk to him about needing space. That only considers my side. His feelings matter too. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like this. And here's the truth. His needs directly conflict with mine. He finds comfort in constant closeness. He would be hurt to hear that I need time apart, even if he says he supports it. Then that's a relationship problem. That's a relationship problem. We would talk, he would agree to my alone time, and I would still take the time. But now he's sad I wanted it, and I feel guilty for needing it. The result is the same, just heavier for both of us. How is that better? Because in this case, you're telling the truth, but now you have this lie that you need to keep building on for the rest of your life. And yes, it's also true that talking to him about it takes away the feeling of freedom and independence I get from just deciding this on my own. You shouldn't be in a relationship, full stop. Both reasons can be and are true at the same time. I don't agree. I actually don't agree. I just don't agree. Thank you to everyone responding. I am reading every comment and appreciate the different perspective. Let me add some additional context about going out with friends, hobbies, running errands by myself, etc. I do all these things, and he doesn't have a problem with it. I'm not a prisoner, but these activities are social engagements or in public space where there are expectations of how to act. Doing these things is vastly different than being completely alone in a private space. I'm never at the house alone because my husband doesn't drive for medical reasons before everyone gets out their pitchforks. So if he leaves the house, I'm driving him somewhere. Public transport is non-existent. Uber Lyft is spotty at best, sometimes waiting 30 minutes, sometimes no drive or willing to take the fare. From what you're saying, it sounds like he would be fine with what you're doing. And I understand that you don't want to upset him, but for you guys to be together and to be good for the rest of your relationship, you need to understand how each other work. Like, it's okay that you don't function the same. I function extremely differently than my husband, but we make it work together. Like, albeit we both enjoy each other's company a lot, and I'd say 95% of the time we spend together, that feels good, because even when we are together, sometimes we're still doing our own thing and there's no expectations. And then, yeah, if I'm like, I just really want to get out and I just want to like go to an antique store by myself, or I just want to go for a long drive. It's like, have fun, and I'll bring him back some coffee or something like that, So I don't know. There just needs to be more honesty and understanding in this. I don't think that this is healthy. And maybe I know there's therapists that watch my channel because they have sounded off before in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am, but that is how I feel. Comments say, you should probably find a way to talk this out, but the need is incredibly valid. It took my wife a few years to really understand, but we worked it out while we were still dating. Now, we both openly treasure actual work trips, starfishing alone in a giant bed, getting nights out by ourselves. It's been really important for us in our relationship. And we've taken a step back into parenthood. Mom and dad's solo nights have been keeping us both sane. All to say, you're not crazy for needing this. In fact, it can make your relationship a lot stronger. I totally agree. But in the long run, this will be a much bigger problem if you continue to take it in secret and not talk about it. I personally think the same thing. I think people should be independent on their own, still be able to do that even through their relationship. And some people just like thrive on just being together all the time. But I think independence is so important in not losing yourself and just, maintaining your own thing and being your own person and having your partner accept that. The need is totally valid. I think the lying is pretty invalid though. It's pretty crazy to lie like this to one's partner, I feel. My wife and I take lots of alone time. That's one of the reasons we got married and we are child-free. We love being alone. But you just cannot lie like this. It's too damn shady. Another one says, why do you feel like it'd be an issue to tell him you need some me time? If he finds out, it will look incredibly suspicious. Is what I say. Exactly. The post is probably what they'll use to try and prove they weren't cheating if the time comes. I think honesty from the get-go is the best policy. I see this blowing up in their face down the road. I agree. I know it will. I feel like it will. I kind of hope it does. Is that bad? I kind of hope it does. She's thought of everything but the consequences when he finds out. Yeah, happy cake day. You can't eat your cake and you can't, what is it? You can't eat your cake and have it too or some shit like that. I don't know. You can't double dip, You can't lie and expect there not to be consequences when somebody finds out. It's just like, and what's your argument? I just wanted to be alone and I just thought lying to you would be better than hurting your feelings, even though I know I'm hurting your feelings substantially more right now from lying to you. I don't know. Honesty's the best policy. End of story. But yeah, that was confessions. This one was a little bit more bleak. This is why I don't love confessions as much. I don't know. Although I guess I just picked some bleak ones. Some are like fun and, like the teenage kid getting beat up. That was fun. Just kidding. But you know what I mean? But anyway, I have more. I'll probably do another confessions one, but yeah, that's this one. Let me know what you guys think. There's some good conversation starters here. I think we'll have a lot of nice conversations down below. Nobody fight in the comments, okay? I'll be playing Candy Crush, just kind of like watching in the back, but I'll see your guys' beautiful face in the next one. Okay, bye.